Prepare yourselves, fools. This program contains graphic language like fuck, shit, and cunt. It also contains discussions about violence and graphic descriptions of gore, such as cunt punning a dead nun while the entrails and blood splatter your face in your new shirt. I digress. This show is for adults, so dispose of your children as you see fit. Now silence and enjoy the show.
Bigfoot, undisputedly the world's most entertaining cryptid. Join the Reverend Jeff Kelly and your old pal Wes as they discuss the best and worst the media has to offer. Movies, books, TV shows, commercials, all on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
Hidden Grundle Ranch has a new product for you. Baby Bundle Grundles. Hi, I'm Farmer Esteban McGrundle, but you can call me Dick. Everybody else seems to. You know, as long as I remember, people have been calling me Dick. Yeah, I grew up as a kid with my mom and my father calling me Dick, and I didn't understand because you emphasized my name was Esteban. My grandmama, she called me Dick too. And then Papa, he would call me, he would say, "Come here, you little Dick." Oh, God. Anyway, yes. This is Esteban McGrundle. Yes. Sorry. So it even happens at home. My wife, Helen, she got Dick printed on all my robes. I mean, I answer the door, the mailman calls me Dick, the UPS man. Oh my God, even the milkman calls me Dick. She yells it at me when we're having sex. She just chants, Dick, Dick. Oh, I hate my life. I mean, now my kids are growing up, they're learning to talk, and they're calling me Dick. Is this really what I'm coming to? A Grundle farmer that gets called Dick by everybody. Turn this fucking thing off. I'm out of here. Fuck all of you.
Oh, fuck.
Wow, poor Esteban. He just completely lost it.
Poor guy.
Oh, welcome to Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
I feel bad for Dick. I mean, Esteban.
Yeah. Oh, they've been sponsors of the show a long time. I just kind of had to let them roll with it. Whoo. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, the Reverend Jeff Kelly, and over there is Sir Wesley Losner of Lounge of WesLosner.com, bitch. Yes, what up?
That's me. Hello. Hi, everybody.
What
Peace.
a dick. What the fuck is that? The most, unexcited jackass move in the century ever. Thanks to your old pal, Flash. What the fuck? All right, hey. I'm going to go with a little bit of sad news. George Kennedy, dead. That's right, Oscar-winning Cool Hand Luke, star of the Naked Gun movies. Well, sadly, he was also star of Demon Warp. Yeah, we did that one just a couple of weeks back. So he died today at the age of 91.
He's an old man, right?
Oh, yeah, he was 91 years old, according to his grandson, Corey. And Kennedy died Sunday morning in Boise, Idaho. What a shithole to die in. I mean, come on. You're like Cool Hand Luke, and you're going to die in a shithole like Boise? Sorry if you're listening from Boise, but you know it's a shithole. Anyhow, I got to give you your Mountain Monsters Fat Buck update. Holy shit, guys. The Great Fire Ape?
Sorry,
What?
Boise.
Holy Christ almighty. Fat Buck and the boys are up in the mountains chasing the red-haired ape. This kid's put on another 50 pounds since last week. I didn't think it was possible, but most definitely. Now he's gone from the greenhorn.
Bro, let me tell you.
Now he's gone from the greenhorn to expert caller. Well, I've been watching the show every episode I've seen, and I've never seen Buck one time call anything but his fat ass to dinner. At one point, he freaking shoulder blocked and tackled the old hillbilly bastard with the big gray beard. Dude, that's called senior citizen abuse. Holy shit. He took all 450 pounds of his fat ass, shoulder blocked this old man to the ground, trying to show up what the fire ape would have done to somebody. Dude, whoever friggin' is shooting this show, y'all need to put his fat ass in check. I'm a fat man, so I can talk about fat man problems. But, dude, you're going to have a heart attack out there and freaking die if you don't do something seriously. That's your Mountain Monster Fat Buck update from your old pal, or your old Reverend Jeff here. Sorry, I didn't want to be claiming Sir Wesley's your old pal Wes. Holy
We're getting
fuck.
all mixed. We all getting mixed up here.
You little mixed up here. Might have over medicated a little bit before the show. Howls! That's right. I told y'all to watch it.
Hey, who
I
cares?
posted that we were watching it. I even posted the link that we were watching it. Sent it to a few of our favorite fans out there.
And
so
hopefully you guys woke up.
I don't know. We watched it. I watched it. I've seen it before. Les made me watch this shithole once before. And I was just like, really? Fucking really? So eventually we had to get to it. So here we are. Les, take it away, my friend.
Well, yes, I did have some planning with this one. I knew. Maybe it's the Sally Fields in me. I don't know. We had to do this one because we did so many other really retarded ones. This one has 1 minute and 12 seconds of awesomeness. You just have to deal with 1 hour and 17 minutes of shit. Okay, so let's just start.
Wow.
We're starting, and you see a train, and it's on
The
a
opening
snowy day,
scene. Oh my God, the opening scene, I have to say, was the absolute worst, overly acted, long-ass opening sequence ever in any Bigfoot season movie that we have had. Holy crap, dude! What was the super cigarette smoker, dude? I mean, how many steps was he going to take away from
before
the
that? Yeah, well, right before that, you like the trains go on, you get that big old buzzard for a few minutes of just with its wings out and shit. Then you get the Jeep rolling up, like it was dragged out, and this is going to be our key word because we're going to patent or copyright three new words tonight. So get ready for that. But so the dude gets out, they all get out, these two guys get out of the Jeep, right? One dude is this really short little guy in a trench coat, like clean cut businessman smoking a cigarette, right? And I say he lights a joint, but that's just the love
definitely not a joint.
I have.
Definitely not a joint.
Yeah. Well, and then so you get this sad violin, weird music, and literally like they walk for fucking ever.
I clocked it. It was 7. It was nearly 7 minutes. It was 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Was that opening sequence?
Crazy. So then they walk up and they get to this spot, and then they like pick up this old like looking BB gun thing, right? So then you're going back in time now. Okay, you don't know this though, but so there's these three dudes. They're in this like cottage, right? And it's like a bachelor party for the long-haired guy.
Supposedly a bachelor party for the ponytail kid. And now I gotta say, if this is a bachelor party for the ponytail kid, you got some sorry ass friends. Straight the fuck up. There's no beer, there's no pot, there's no broads. You got a dog.
You're in a cottage watching cartoons with two other grown men
and a dog.
That
nobody likes. Not even you.
It was. Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah, and so the fucking dog is like bugging the fuck out of this one dude, and he's our prick of the movie, right?
Oh,
so
Mr. 5 o'clock shadow.
That dude, like, he gets tired of dealing. Yeah. Yeah, and the dude gets bugged by the dog, so he puts the dog outside, right? And so that long-haired dude comes back from taking a shit, whatever the fuck he was doing, and he's like looking for his dog. You know, like, where the fuck's the dog? So he comes back and he asks the guys, like, have you seen the dog? And then the first dude gets up, like, looks around, goes, no. You know, like they're totally like they're intoxicated, but they're not doing anything to get fucking intoxicated. They're just watching cartoons.
Is it carbon monoxide coming from the fucking floor? I mean, I don't know what's going on in that house, but those guys are definitely fucked up, but not obviously on anything.
Yeah, so there's like, he goes outside looking for the dog. He's yelling, and you're gonna get fucking annoyed with the name Sydney. I'm sorry if anybody's named Sydney out there, but holy fucking shit! I heard enough of this name being yelled through the whole fucking movie.
Didn't we have another movie where we had another name that was called T-Fish? I mean, we heard T-Fish about 1 million fucking times in Return to Boggy Creek. T-Fish don't do T-Fish don't do that. I was about ready to punt T-Fish. So, you know, next to that one, I think Sydney is probably right up there.
Right, definitely up there. But what's it called? So earlier in the scene, those dudes made some kind of bet. If he threw the banana in the fucking trash can, then if he missed, he could get shot in the nuts with the BB gun or some bullshit. Well, he missed, right? So the dude's like aiming up and shit to fucking shoot him in the fucking nuts, and the BB gun doesn't fucking go off, right? So then there's like this like scene where they kind of like focus on something else, but then you hear the pop. You know, and
it's more fucking Sydney. It's more the pony-haired kid learning out the front yard, running towards Sydney. Then we hear the pop, ow, and he comes back to the house to figure out what the fuck's going on. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Yeah, and dude's sitting there. Yeah, and the dude's sitting there holding his forehead, like, oh, you know. So then the next scene cuts, and you see that they're all three leaving to go look for the dog, and dude's got like a bandana now on his like hurt head, and he's holding the gun, you know, because he's fucking the man now and shit. So they're like, they kind of split up, in the like the weird dude fucking goes walking off one direction, and then the long-haired guy and the prick walk up in the like. I've tried watching this scene, I don't know how many times, to see what the fuck he saw, but he saw, and he goes, oh well, there it is right there. And then so they have this like scene where they're like looking in this area of the woods, and you know, he said, well, whatever it could have fucking been that looks like your dog, you know, like it was right there and all that bullshit. So I fucking watched that scene, and, you know, and I rewind it. I couldn't see shit. I don't know what the fuck I just think he was just fucking with the dude.
I think he was just being a jackass. I don't think he saw shit. It was very, very strange. I don't remember seeing anything in the scene either. And I just watched it today on the big screen, so.
Yeah. I watched it on a fucking 60-inch, so I mean, shit, like, I still couldn't see shit, you know? But fucking... So the little dude, the little long-haired dude, because it's his fiance's fucking dog or some
Like the
bullshit.
family, like her family's dog. Yeah.
Yeah. So he screams and has a tantrum and fucking shit. So then they venture out deep into the woods, right? And so, like, we get our first little taste of the movie dragging, all right? Like, and when I say drag, I mean you're gonna literally watch real time these guys walking in the woods, how long it took them to get to each little fucking
That's why
ecosystem, because
right.
they got to like a pond and they got lower to a different kind of fucking pond, and you know, like, you're watching this whole fucking hike basically.
Yeah, it's
Just to
basically an
shitty
episode
music.
of Kelly Shaw and the Rocky Mountain Horror Picture Show people over there going on one of their expeditions for 49 fucking minutes through one of their squatch hollers, as they call them. But for God's sakes, people, this is a real-time movie versus a perceived time movie. Perceived time movie are a bunch of events that happen over 2 or 3 days that play out in a movie over 90 minutes or 2 hours. This is a real-time movie, and that's why it's so fucking excruciating, because there is no scene to cut to. You are with these fucking kids real fucking time for every minute of this excruciating search for this crazy ass lost fucking dog. And I gotta tell you, my wife got through about 35 minutes of it and was like, fuck this, I'm gonna go clean the shit out of the bird pens rather than watch this crappy ass movie any longer. I gotta tell you, I almost wanted to go join it at that point. The end almost makes the torture worth it, but we'll get there. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, but at this point in my notes, I have it written that I think they've said Sydney about 1,000 times.
Teeth fish,
already.
don't do that, teeth fish,
and
teeth fish.
Yeah, so they end up, like, there's this, like, lighter scene where the dude's, like, trying to light a cigarette, and the dudes are, like, down, you know, the other two guys are down a ways, you know, and they're talking about something, and then they talk about blaming the fucking dude asking for a cigarette, you know, and it's like, damn, you didn't hear that, dude? Like, because I heard that, you know, like, you know, like, and he didn't react, and he asked for a lighter, you know, and I was like, damn, I thought that would have started a fight between all of them. You know, because they literally said, "Okay, well, we're just gonna blame him anyways." Well, that's what I heard. You know, but you hear their conversation. You know what I'm saying? So then, through hiking, they get to a fence, right? And then the dude in the sandals, because like he's wearing like flip flops and shit, like the best man or whatever the fuck his name was. You know, so they like have this thing where he's gonna go back to the cottage and see if the dog came back.
Yeah, now, how the hell would they know? Because they don't have any cell phones that friggin' work. So they can't actually make any communication with the house. So even if the dog was back, there's no way to let these retards know that the dog's back. So what's he supposed to do? Go back, find the dog, lock the dog up, and then go wandering through the woods to find these two retards?
Yeah, see, they had the cell phone, but they weren't connecting. You know, because that dude they tried calling him later, and then he tries leaving that message or whatever. But right after that, you get the drag walking. All right, so that's one of our first words that we're going to patent, because we've seen this in Bigfoot movies before, where it's just long, drawn-out footage of people walking, dragging on.
With no good epic
probably
soundtrack
means
either.
Something totally different on Hollywood Boulevard. But yeah, so then the little guy goes to piss, right? And then there's this scene where the prick is like making fun of him because he can't pee in front of him, so he's got like stage fright, right? So then he like walks down and he like finds this like little like boggy pond, you know, kind of area, and he starts pissing in the pond. Like, I'm like, Yeah, can't
Why
you
would you
piss on
piss
a tree?
on?
Like, why would
Right.
you just like?
Oh,
Yeah, like
I'd
that's
kick
just
right into
fucked
the
up,
water.
right? So, yeah. So then he like hears like a snap, and then he looks, and it's clearly Biggie, and like Biggie's like getting behind a tree and stuff, and then the dude just books it, and he's running, and he yells, "It's a fucking bear!" And
well,
fucking.
to people
So
who
then
aren't
they were.
Bigfooters, that's the first thing that would register in their head is their brain would make that a bear. So that's not really unheard of for somebody to see a Bigfoot freak out and scream bear, because in their mind, it's the only thing that it can register being that big and hairy in that type of a place would be bear.
Through that through the movie, he questions it, like whatever it was, like even if it wasn't a bear, like, well, because he questions it a lot. So then right after that, like they hide behind this log that's clearly a log that a bear has sat and fucking sharpened its claws on for a long time, because that's like, I mean, when we were
It's shredded.
we saw a fucking log just like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, but yeah, that was fucking crazy. So they try to call the dude, and it connects, but it's like staticky, and he's like trying to talk, and then he like just leaves a message, but the dude like had answered, because they cut to a scene of him like, hello, so like clearly that wasn't on an answering machine, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't leave a message. The dude just like got a phone call and got a bunch of static and shit. So then, like, right after that scene, fucking more drag walk. All right, we're gonna get a lot of fucking drag walk in this shit. Dude, I was telling Rev earlier, this is one of the fucking easiest note taking things, because it's just drag walk, like for like 3 pages. So
there's only like
just
8
prepare
events
for
through the
that
entire
word a
movie
lot,
that are worth
because
mentioning. So we're at about number 5 at this point. Hey, let's take a
Well,
break
really-
and talk to the guys out there. Give shout outs to the people in the lounge live chat room. That's right. If you're not watching live, you're not cool. Hey, Rod Dupree, as usual, has got a blunt up and some rosin going on.
Rod Dupree, the place to be.
From Colorado. That's right. Life and Times JCM. That's right. You can find that channel right here on YouTube. That's our buddy Jevin Moore, the
From
Jesus
Nazareth.
Christ of Monterey Bay.
Jesus.
It doesn't even live in California anymore. I don't even know where the hell that came from anymore. Dick Jones. I know who you are now, but I won't tell anybody if you won't.
Dick Jones from San Clemente.
San Clemente. Hey, Guyan? GhyEin. Yo, brother, there's got to be a vowel between that GHY. I don't know.
E-I-E-I-O.
Exactly. But hey, you're out there in the podcast chat room as well. I saw some other people. Mark Gentile, as usual, not the Jew, but the Gentile. He's hanging out there. Color
Mark Gentile.
How you doing? He's out there too. Collier, not color. There's an IER in there. Yeah, who the hell names their kid?
I said it.
Frank Smith. Now there's one everybody can get right.
Frank Smith from Egypt.
Not Frank Stallone, but Frank Smith. Hey, Frank Smith
from Egypt, man.
When Jesus was in Egypt land, let my people go. No, I know that wasn't Jesus. It was Moses, but whatever. Moses. Hey, that's who's in the chat room. Let's pick it back up with the king. Wes!
The king.
Just get off of my
All right, so they find a birdhouse. So you get about 30 seconds of them talking about a birdhouse.
Oh, isn't that nice? Right. Why is that out here?
And then you get some more drag walking. And then drag sitting. All right. So there's our second one that we're in patent. Drag sitting, because they just play out a good 5 minutes of just watching them sit there and watching the long-haired guy spaz out and look around. And it was back to drag walking, which really fun to do, I guess.
There was a lot of dead air in this movie. A lot of dead, silent moments of no dialogue. How do you write that into a script?
But then
drag walking for 28 seconds, drag walking for another 42 seconds, different scene. Scene 3, drag walking for 22 seconds. Scene 4, drag walking for 51 seconds. I mean,
and just when you think people aren't bored with drag walking, they split them up so they can drag walk solo.
A little more. That's right.
Genius.
Now, before they split up,
then they
had that argument. Before they split up, they had that argument.
They meet up and have that argument.
Oh, is that when they had the argument about which way they're going?
Yeah, it's right after that. Fucking, they split up, they get together, and then he starts going, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" and shit, you know.
Because when they marched out from there, they said, "Okay, and then we're gonna go north," and then went directly east. The sun was going down, and it was to their backs. So they decided to go north, but then promptly walked due east. Way to go, guys!
Yeah,
swing and a miss.
So okay, in my notes, I'm just gonna tell you every time that I wrote it. More drag walking. All right. So then you get to where it's gonna start getting dark, so the dude's trying to make a fire, right? And then it gets kind of dark while the dude like drag walks a bit. The other guy,
a little more drag walking.
That was in the sandals that's now coming back looking for them. Yeah. Because they're gonna mix in some drag walking with the dialogue.
A little more drag walking,
guys. Now that they are motionless, because they are motionless, they are now drag sitting.
Now they have to have some drag walking because there must always be drag walking.
Yeah, the two dudes are like sitting against a log, right? And then they argue about how the guy's fiance hates him and all this bullshit, and they talk about how they have the look that they give, when he fucks up with his friend, this guy and shit. These guys have this like fucking emotional kind of fucking horrible heart to heart, and that's where I get to our third word, drag talk. Because that's what they did. Drag talking.
I have to wonder if the guy who wrote this movie didn't actually write it for like his best friend to explain why his wife actually hates him, and then put it into a movie form so he can see it on screen and not be personal. I don't know, but who writes crap like this? Anyhow, pop up first base, runner advance.
But yeah, so then the other guy, the hippie dude, whatever, he like gets to a pond and he starts yelling, and then he gets like kind of creeped out, because it's starting to get dark, and he hears like a noise and stuff, and then he kind of like he's hiding behind a tree, but then he kind of sees Biggie, and like he's hiding and he's hearing Biggie, and then he like fucking hides and then runs and books it, and fucking he like stops and he's like trying to get his breath, and then he hears a noise and he fucking like starts booking it again, and he hits his head like on a branch. You don't know if Biggie smacked him in the head with a branch, or
which is what I was hoping. I was really hoping somebody was going to die soon. The Reverend loves Bigfoot kills and roots for the Bigfoot. There's nothing to root for in this one. Nobody dies. It's like, really?
Yeah. So it's dark now, and the dudes can't see like 2 feet in front of them, right? There's no light whatsoever, kind of like a twinkle of moonlight, but not really. And then they start hearing like roars. Then they start hearing like sticks breaking, branches breaking. Then you get some howls.
Finally, the howls show up. It's like 90 minutes in.
Yeah. You get like branches breaking and growls and howls and footsteps, and then you get this like loud roar right by them and like footsteps, and then the dude like he's like looking up and kind of can see through moonlight that something really big is standing over him and stuff like that a few times. So you can kind of tell he knows that there's something right there, like, you know, like that's not a fucking bear, you know? And so like the other dude, like he like fucking is like running, and then he like fucking hears the dog barking.
Yeah, I heard the dog all of a
Right?
sudden.
And then like so then he runs off, right? And then in the morning the two guys wake up and they're like surrounded by fucking prints and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
that was like creepy.
And fucking yeah, and like they fucking run and fucking they're like booking it, and then you see the scene like kind of spread back, and you can see further behind them, and you can see that now Bigfoot is running also the same pace as them, like, you know, like parallel to them running, and then they just kind of stop, and they like all have this moment where they all look at each other in the eyes and shit like that. And fucking that scene, you know, like this is why I recommended this movie, and why I like this movie is just because of this scene, is because when you're fucking just researching Bigfoot and you're reading all these fucking, you know, like
Accounts.
sighting reports and shit like that,
First-hand
you know,
accounts
like
of them, yeah.
all these things. This is exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like this moment where they fucking are eye to eye, and this thing doesn't fucking rip their arms off. It's not snarling at them. It fucking might make a noise or two, but then fucking you notice there's another one somewhere, and then they fucking walk off. That's what most of these fucking reports are. So that's why, like, I've always like,
Because
I
it was
like this
it probably
movie, but
is the
at
most
same
realistic.
time,
It's probably the most realistic encounter type movie that we've seen so far.
because that's what people report. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they report. They're not reporting that a fucking Bigfoot is fucking ripping through the fucking whole camp and everybody died, you know, like I think you'd hear about it, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more, but no, we hear just these sightings. You saw it, it fucking walked away.
Yeah.
This is a movie about these dudes having a couple sightings.
It was a real time.
All three of them walk away.
It was a real time movie of what happened to them during their Bigfoot encounter, and I'm down with that. Like I said, if you don't know what the ending payout is, though, I don't know how they expected you to get there. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Yeah, and but
your nose has got
so
a big old streak across it. There you go. There you go.
Woo!
It lit your nose on fire there for a minute.
It's all right. It'll grow back. But yeah, so then they book it off. They book it off, and they're running. They cross a river, and they pass a river, and then they can hear a train. So they're like running, and then fucking they get up. They find train tracks, and then like there's this like long fucking thing with them walking and walking. The dude just drops the fucking gun off the fucking side, right? So then they're fucking walking some more, and then fucking it's the, you know, back into the future, I guess, and the dude's now lost his tan, cut his hair completely, grown a beard, started smoking cigarettes, is dressed totally business, and they finally pick up, they get to where the gun is, they pick it up, and it's like, boom, there's the credits, like,
what happened to the fucking dog? As many times as we heard them say that fucking dog, what happened to the fucking dog?
Yeah, because the dog wasn't in the. I didn't see the fucking dog in the fucking car when the dude was driving up. So, what the fuck? You know, like he heard the dog, but did he find the dog? Nobody fucking knows. You know?
Nobody knows.
I feel like I did burn my nose.
Did he get married? Did he not get married? You know, I mean, there's so many questions left unanswered, but they did have a Bigfoot sighting.
He looks like he got married. He looked like he lost his soul. His tan went away. He trimmed his beard. His hair got cut.
Started smoking so he'll die earlier.
He looked. Yes, started smoking cigarettes to get cancer. Like he's probably, a year and a half in and just dreading life. And then they finally were like, okay, let's go back. Those things were scary, but it's snowy, let's just get your gun. Stop crying about your BB gun, you fucking grown-ass man.
When Moses was in Egypt land.
Couldn't believe that, man.
But
for the minute and 12 seconds you get of the Bigfoot action in this movie, does it make it worth sitting through the drag walking, the drag
fast
sitting,
forward to the end
talking,
and watch the last 10 minutes? This should have been a short.
And it'll be a nice little short flick.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little short flick.
Yeah, you don't need to know this. You don't need to know they're looking for a dog.
Because you never know what find out what happens to a fucking dog.
Right,
exactly.
Minutes.
So just watch the last 10 minutes of the movie and you'll have a decent little short film.
Yeah, and you'll just be like, what was that dog barking noise that he heard? Was that a Bigfoot howling? You
wouldn't even care about that fucking dog.
But yeah.
T-Fish, don't do that, T-Fish. T-Fish, get back in here, T-Fish.
Get really, really, really stoned for this one. I suggest drinking, but I know that a drunk would not pay attention to this movie.
No, you would be
on. So you got to get stoned.
Hey, what's on Netflix? What are we watching? What are we watching? No.
Get yourself
couch locked.
Get yourself to where and then just get a bunch of snacks. And just make a game of it. Every time they start dragging, take a dab, smoke another bowl, do something, kiss your girlfriend, kiss your boyfriend, whatever the fuck.
Lord have mercy, let's not go there.
Get yourself through it.
Just fast forward to the last 10 minutes and you'll enjoy the whole thing and be done with it.
10 minutes, yeah.
That's right. Hey,
and you can say you watched the whole fucking movie because
you'll see some drag walking.
If you think
so you did. That's actually going to wrap it up for our discussion of Howls. Next week, come and join us. We will be talking about 1954's The Snow Creature. That's right. What happens when botanists in the Himalayas bring a Yeti back to L.A.? We're going to find out next week on The Snow Creature. Yeah, botanists. That's right. From LA. Who would knew?
Plant people.
Plant people. We kind of screwed up.
Bringing a Yeti back to life. This sounds interesting.
Didn't get a chance to record a brand new What the Fuck Theater for you this week, so we're going to go out on an oldie but a goodie. We want to thank everybody for watching. For Sir Wesley Losner of Lounge from weslosner.com and Trivium Tattoo in some fucking place in Southern California.
Moreno Valley, California.
I'm your host, the Reverend Jeff, and we say, may the squash with you.
In your butthole.
And finally, words every place with fuck.
A musical!
It's a touching made-up story of Wes's lingual torture of the English language. Hear from Wes's high school teacher, Mary, last name withheld for anonymity.
Fuck you, Miss Jigglenexky!
On the challenges of learning just what fuck means today. We catch up with Wes on the north lawn of the school, engaged in conversation with other school children. Let's listen in.
All right, so it's 50 and 8, 35 a half eighth, and if you guys want some wax, I got some killer shatter right now for 40 a gram. But don't fuck around, guys. Cash only.
Hey, Billy, what's marijuana's? What's shatter?
I don't know, dude, but whatever this guy's selling,
I'll buy it. Billy, you're 4. Where'd you get money?